Spend enough time on YouTube and you'll eventually hear the same advice. Stop buying soundbars. Audiophiles say it, home theater guys say it. It has become one of the most repeated tropes in this hobby, and I think it's bad advice. Choosing a soundbar or a traditional system, it's not some moral dilemma. We're still talking about speakers, yet so many speak with absolute certainty when it comes to soundbars. So why all the hostility? Well, the answer isn't performance, it's fear. Fear of, you guessed it, change. And before my enthusiast friends light up the comments, hear me out. For decades, there was really only one accepted way to experience music or movies at home. A pair of speakers or a precisely, curated collection of them powered by dedicated electronics connected with special cables. It was the standard. It was the identity of the hobby itself. But over the past decade, something has changed. Advances in speaker design, room correction, digital signal processing, and modern audio formats have dramatically reshaped what's possible. The way people live and watch and listen, it's changed just as quickly. We have seen a cultural shift in how people want to experience sound. Naturally, this has created some friction and arguably a fracture within the hobby itself. On the one side are enthusiasts, holding on to traditions that we have used to define home audio for decades. On the other, there are millions who just want better sound without necessarily joining the hobby at all. Most of the time, when you hear "stop buying soundbars," it's coming from someone who's preaching to an audience that was never going to buy one in the first place. The argument doesn't expand the hobby. It reinforces the identity of the people already in it. And don't think for a second that I'm above my own criticism here. I've made the obligatory ditch your soundbar video too, rather early in my YouTube career. In fact, if you measure success purely by views, it's one of my most popular videos. But the more time I've spent actually living with soundbars, the more my perspective has changed. Now, some will argue that the goal has always been simple: better sound. Audiophiles will tell you that the answer to the so-called soundbar problem will always be a pair of speakers or a traditional home theater system, regardless of what the end user is actually trying to achieve. And from that perspective, the solution seems obvious. Ditch the soundbar and replace it with a pair of powered speakers. Maybe something like the Klipsch 7s, Kanto's YU series, Kef's Kodas, or even more design-forward options from Focal and Bang & Olufsen. And that makes sense because a lot of these speakers offer modern features once exclusive to soundbars, like streaming, HDMI inputs, and wireless connectivity. But even these solutions often overlook a very real constraint: space. Statistics are never sexy, but they do matter, especially here. More than 40% of young adults don't fully control their living space. They're living with parents, roommates, or in a shared environment. Over half of renters live in apartments, and those apartments, they keep getting smaller, with many units averaging well under 700 square feet or 65 square meters. And for younger generations, the idea of a permanent forever home is increasingly out of reach. More than 80% say buying a home feels harder than it did for previous generations. So concepts like dedicated listening rooms, carefully treated acoustics, and lifelong audio systems, they're not being rejected. They were never realistic to begin with. Enthusiasts will say you can fit a small pair of speakers anywhere. But this argument has always bothered me because true stereo imaging doesn't just depend on speakers. It relies on space. And that's not my opinion, that's acoustics. In a conventional hi-fi arrangement, speakers need physical distance from each other and from the listener. That spacing allows your brain to detect even the smallest timing and level differences between the left and right channels, reconstructing them into a virtual soundstage. If you don't give speakers or yourself that space, many of the benefits of a traditional, hi-fi setup, they begin to fall apart. Even modern smart speakers can't escape basic acoustics. So how much space are we really talking about? Ideally, stereo speakers should sit 6 to 10 feet apart, forming an equilateral triangle between the speakers and your listening position. And here's where reality really steps in. Achieving that realistically requires a room roughly 12 to 16 feet or 4 to 5 meters wide. The average apartment living room today is only about 10 to maybe 12 feet. That means that speakers may end up only 4 to 5 feet apart, assuming the room can even be dedicated primarily to listening. So while it's easy to point at compact powered speakers or, tiny streaming amps and say, just buy one of those instead of a soundbar, the assumption that this will automatically deliver a better experience is overinflated. It's not a given. In fact, under less than ideal conditions, can actually sound worse. This is where soundbars really start to make sense. Perhaps their biggest advantage is just how much they simplify sound setup. They use smart processing and well-designed drivers to create the illusion of sound coming from different directions, even without actual speakers being in those spots. This means you don't have to worry about placing speakers, perfectly around the room. Instead, soundbars use technology to create an immersive listening experience all on their own. Now, switching to a soundbar can take some getting used to, especially if you're coming from a traditional hi-fi or dedicated home theater setup. Downsizing almost always feels, strange at first. But if you're coming from TV speakers, computer audio, or even headphones, the jump to a soundbar usually feels like a big improvement. Of course, one of the more common criticisms of soundbars is that not everything sounds convincingly spacious, that the sound can feel, pulled towards the center of the room. But here's the irony. In a properly set up stereo system, one of the things audiophiles, they celebrate the most is a strong center image, that illusion of a perfectly locked in voice right between the speakers. So this idea that a soundbar somehow has too much center imaging has always struck me as a little bit funny, especially when we remember something we already talked about. If stereo speakers, they can't be placed far enough apart, which is incredibly common. I see it all the time in audiophile setups, by the way. There's no way that sound isn't collapsing towards the middle anyway. At that point, you're not really getting stereo magic. You're getting something much closer to mono. And if space constraints have you sitting only a few feet away, you might as well be listening to headphones. So yes, there is an adjustment period, but people adapt. And over time, I've heard countless stories from users who, once everything clicks, realize they're actually more engaged and frankly happier than they were dealing with the complexity of traditional systems. And switching gears, to modern movies, especially those mixed in Dolby Atmos, folding everything down to stereo, it just usually isn't as immersive as what a good soundbar can do, even with virtual surround. And that's not me saying stereo is bad. I watch plenty of movies in stereo myself, and it can sound fantastic. But I also think we need to stop speaking in absolutes. Saying, stop buying soundbars assumes stereo is always the better experience. And this simply, it's just not true. Or at a minimum, it's not a hard and fast rule. Just because a room has speakers spread out everywhere doesn't automatically mean it's the right solution. Sometimes it looks the part, but like George Clooney in Batman and Robin, it's just bad casting. This is where I think audiophiles and home theater enthusiasts need to rethink the conversation. Instead of congratulating each other for not owning a soundbar or telling people what not to buy, maybe the better question is simply, how can I help? And sometimes the honest answer to that question is gonna be, buy a soundbar. And I say this as someone who once thought they were giving good advice to a family member by steering them away from a soundbar. After they invested in multiple speakers and an AVR, it became clear that I was the one that failed them. Despite my heart being absolutely in the right place, what they ultimately needed wasn't a room full of Focal speakers. It was a Sonos soundbar and a wireless subwoofer, which they now have and enjoy. And for those of us who create content, that means doing a better job of stepping into other people's shoes. Instead of handing someone just beginning their audio journey a pair of our old ones and hoping that they fit.